63 Orthopteran specimens were collected and identified in southern Luna County. 7 of the specimens collected were species that were not previously identified to be present in Luna County. On this slide, 3 of the 7 species can be seen. On the first figure, you can see the Hesperotetic speciosus, the second figure is the Alucara eloti, and the third figure is the Ansara caviliae. This project was conducted by Brianda Leedis and Lauren Polk. Orthopterans are grasshoppers, katydids, and crickets. These insects are an essential part of the desert ecosystem. Considering the majority of the Northern Chihuahuan Desert is located in Luna County, Orthopterans play a pivotal role on the environment. Between May and October of 2020, 63 Orthopteran species were collected, most of them being adult grasshoppers with a few katydids and crickets. These specimens were collected at the base of the Florida Mountains with an approximate elevation of 1,400 meters. The object of this study was to identify all the species of Orthopterans found in Luna County. Most of the Orthopterans found were Leprous wheeleri. However, 7 species that were previously undocumented in Luna County were found. The research question for this project was which species of Orthopterans inhabit Luna County. Luna County is located in the southwestern quadrant of New Mexico in the Chihuahuan Desert. Luna County is rich in wild, arid-dwelling vegetation such as Laurea tridente, which is seen in Figure 5, which is a creosote bush, Yucca briefolia, which is seen in Figure 4, which is a Joshua tree, and many species of prickly pear cacti, which is Optunia, seen in Figure 6. The Florida Mountains are an inactive fault block mountain range comprised mostly of Paleozoic limestone and dolomite rocks, which are carbonate rocks that are rich in the mineral dolomite and magnesium. The mountains extend north to south for approximately 38.4 kilometers. It is surrounded by a bajada formed from transporting sediments during occasional rainfall. The area receives 23.37 centimeters of rain each year. The soil across the alluvial fan surface, which can be seen in Figure 7, contain petrocalcic soils. Horizons. In the drainage, most of the alluvial-filled terraces are non-calcareous.
The image on the left is a Google Maps image of the study site. The image on the right is a photograph of the terrain. The creosote bush can be seen in Figure 8. They are major components of the Northern Chihuahuan Desert, being 95% of the vegetation. They consist of polyploid races, which are multiple sets of chromosomes. In the Chihuahuan Desert, there are only diploid bushes, which means that they contain 2 sets of chromosomes. In the Sonoran Desert, they are tetraploid, which means they contain 4 sets of chromosomes. And in the Mojave Desert, they are hexaploid, which means that the bushes contain 6 sets of chromosomes. The creosote bush have high concentrations of foliar nitrogen and foliar resin. The resin is high in noradihydrogyretic acid, which is a defense mechanism against insects. The leaves on the creosote bush are low in moisture and contain other anti-feeding phytochemicals besides NDGA. The insects that are on the bush's foliage are Parometabolus, and the soil concentration of nitrogen is at its peak under the creosote bush. Orthopterans are katydids, as seen in Figure 9, crickets, seen in Figure 10, and grasshoppers, seen in Figure 11. They are important because they recycle nutrients by increasing the degradation of cellulose and breaking down plant material into smaller pieces which can be attacked by soil flora and fauna. They also stimulate plant growth by combining acid from their crop and midgut with auxin, a plant hormone. They can also be used as nutrients for many species, including humans. Between May and October, daily sweeps of the study site were made. As seen in Figure 12, a local volunteer is catching Orthopterans. The specimens collected were placed in 50 milliliter centrifuge tubes, and the tubes were identified with the date, location, and specimen number. As seen in figure 13, the specimens are identified in the centrifuge tubes. The specimens were then frozen and taxonomic keys were used to identify them. These are the 8 species found. On the left are their scientific names, and on the right are their pictures with what they're commonly called. A is a creosote bush katydid, B is a spotted camel cricket, C is a big-headed grasshopper, D is a blue-winged grasshopper, E is a white-lined bird grasshopper, F is a western grasshopper, G is a California band-winged grasshopper, and H is a western shield-backed katydid.
The Insara covillae, as seen in figure 14, is known as the creosote bush katydid. These katydids will select creosote bushes with the higher water and protein content regardless of the resin content. These insects can camouflage perfectly within the creosote bush using top-down pressures. This means that the creosote bush katydid can blend into the bush in order to avoid the pressures on them from predators. These insects evolved via adaptive radiation from Insara elegans 11,000 years ago with the introduction of the creosote bush. The Ceothophilus maculatus, as shown in figure 15, is a genus of insects known as cave or camel crickets. These insects have thick dorsally arched backs with long tapering antennae, as seen in figure 15. The hind femur is thick and spiny in males and sometimes spiny in females. The Ceothophilus maculatus have varied diets and are considered omnivores and scavengers. Sadly, these insects have been severely under-researched. The Leprous wheeleri, which is shown in figure 16, is a spur-throated grasshopper found in the central and northern regions of the Chihuahuan Desert. It is distinguishable by the base hind wing being a yellowish-green color and the base hind tibia being a blue or palish-gray color. The Leprous wheeleri have a yellow-wing dimorphism that only exists in the Chihuahuan Desert. This means in other parts of the world, the Leprous wheeleri have a blue wing, while in the Chihuahuan Desert it has a yellow wing. This is possibly explained by thermoregulation and camouflage, meaning that the yellow wing absorbs less energy than the blue wing, causing the grasshopper to have an overall cooler body temperature. The yellow wing also helps them blend in with the desert terrain, which is typically arid. The Alucara eloti, which is seen in figure 17, is known as a big-headed grasshopper. It mainly inhabits Midwestern area grasslands, which causes grass to be its primary food source. The Alucara eloti have not been previously documented in other parts of the state, has been documented in other parts of the state, but has not been documented in Luna County. The population will fluctuate due to a decrease in moisture and vegetation, which can be attributed to climate change.
Hesperotetic speciosus can be seen in figure 18. It is called the western green grasshopper because it is uniformly colored and blends well with green plants. It is found in the Great Plains and feeds on broadleaf plants. It inhabits arid, weedy areas and has been previously documented in the northeastern part of the state. But based on the number of specimens caught, their population is still low in Luna County. The Chimerotrophis californica is seen in figure 19. It is called the California band-winged grasshopper and is commonly found throughout the southwestern states. It inhabits arid, rocky areas and feeds on wild grasses. It has not been previously documented in Luna County. The Schistocerca alutesa alboleata is seen in figure 20. It is called the white-lined bird grasshopper and is found in mountain ranges and near the U.S.-Mexican border. It has not been previously documented in Luna County and feeds on wild grasses and can be a problem with crops. The Etlopus hesperus is seen in figure 21. It is known as the western shield-backed katydid. It is found in the North American Southwest. It prefers rocky, arid areas and they are omnivores and can be heard stridulating in the evenings, and they can also be a problem with crops.
Orthopterans in Luna County are severely under-researched. 7 previously undocumented species were identified in this survey. This study is projected to go on for many more years in hopes of finding more information. Orthopteran populations can be strongly impacted in environmental factors such as drought. Orthopterans are an indispensable part of the desert ecosystem. They recycle nutrients by increasing degradation of cellulose and breaking down plant material into smaller pieces which can be attacked by soil flora and fauna. They also stimulate plant growth by combining acids with their crop and midgut with auxin, which is a plant growth hormone. These are the sources we utilized for our project. Thank you for your time.